Is the world really telling you the truth? It whispers in your ear that if you gain more knowledge, if you achieve financial comfort, and if you become popular, you'll finally be happy. But why does that deep void inside you keep getting wider? Why is it that the more things you accumulate, the heavier you feel? 900 years ago, a man who was the genius of his age, the king of libraries and the primary advisor to sultans, walked away from everything one morning. His fame, his status, his books. He took to the road like a wandering dervish. Why? Because he realized his mind was overflowing with information, but his heart was hollow. That man was Imam Al-Ghazali. When he emerged from a decade of silent searching and isolation, he presented a 7-step radical prescription for the crisis of meaning that the modern world still hasn't solved. Today, we are opening that prescription together. These lessons aren't here to comfort you. They are here to wake you up. If you're ready to hear the truth, listen to Ghazali's timeless letter, O son, as if it were written specifically for you today. Lesson 1. Escape the illusion of information. Ghazali asks you pointedly, why are you still learning? If knowing more doesn't make you more capable, more compassionate, or more peaceful, then everything you learn is just a weight on your soul. Remember his profound warning. Even if you study for 100 years and write 1,000 books, if you do not act, it is all in vain. Today, access to information is infinite, but wisdom has vanished. We watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and consume self-improvement books one by one, but our lives stay the same. Does that seem normal to you? Ghazali says, knowledge is a cure, but if you just keep the medicine on the shelf without taking it, you'll never get well. If what you learn doesn't separate you from your old habits, that knowledge is just a veil, a barrier. Real knowledge shouldn't lead to a know-it-all ego. It should lead you toward humility. Clear out the junk in your mind and ask yourself, which of the things I know am I actually practicing in my life? Lesson 2. Purify your intentions from the need for approval. In today's world, we are addicted to validation. With every step we take, we ask, will they like this? Will I be praised? Do I look good? Ghazali calls this the growing disease of the soul. According to him, the value of an action isn't measured by how massive it is, but by why it was done. If you do a good deed just so people know you're a good person, you aren't the master of that deed. You're its slave. Ghazali's most striking observation is this: sincerity is removing the eyes of people from your actions. In other words, can you act as if there's no one in the universe but you and the Creator? If your answer is no, you're still living in the shackles of others' opinions. Ghazali holds up a mirror. Strip off the masks and do something just for yourself. What would you really lose if no one ever knew? Lesson 3. Don't kill your time with the meaningless. Ghazali's view on time is breathtaking. He treats time as capital and reminds us constantly that every second will be accounted for. He says, time is a sword. If you don't cut it, it will cut you. We use the phrase killing time so casually today. But Ghazali says killing time is actually killing yourself. If a task adds no value to you in this world or the next, why are you there? How can you sell your soul so cheaply to the infinite scroll of the digital world? Ghazali says, death is the awakening of those who are asleep. When you wake up, what will come with you? Will you spend your seconds on pointless arguments, gossip, or watching other people's lives? Or will you see every breath as a productive process? The choice is yours, but time is running out. Lesson 4. See your ego as a stallion. Most people either let their ego, nafs, run wild or try to kill it entirely. Ghazali says both ways are wrong. Your ego is the stallion your soul must ride. If you don't train it, it will drag you into an abyss. But if you starve it to death, you'll have no way to travel. Ghazali teaches us balance. Don't let your desires drive you, but use them as a source of power. Use your anger to stand up for justice. Use your ambition to reach a higher level of growth. But keep reason and spirit in the driver's seat. The question is the horse carrying you, or are you running behind the horse? Can you hit the brakes when your desires say, "I want"? If you can't, you're not a rider, you're a prisoner in chains. Lesson 5. Consume less, speak less, sleep less. This lesson is a direct blow to the heart of consumer culture. Ghazali says that for the soul to find peace, the burden on the body must be lightened. Why are we constantly talking? Because we are terrified of silence. When we stay silent, we start to hear our own inner world, and that scares us. Why are we constantly spending? Because we are trying to satisfy a hungry soul with physical things. Ghazali's equation is simple. If you want your heart to shine, minimize your physical indulgences. When the stomach is empty, the mind works. When the tongue is silent, the heart speaks. This is the authentic spiritual version of what we call minimalism today. Get rid of the excess, or your soul will never take flight. Lesson 6. Choose your friends based on your soul's level. Ghazali says, a person is colored by the color of those they spend time with. If the people around you only talk about money, gossip, and superficial pleasures, it is impossible for you to be different. Your soul absorbs the energy of the people you surround yourself with. Ghazali suggests a radical social detox. Distance yourself from any friend who doesn't remind you of something higher, who doesn't encourage you to be a better person, or who doesn't kindly point out your mistakes. Loneliness is 100,000 times better than the wrong company. True friendship is one soul living in itwu bodies. How many friends do you have who actually feed your soul? Or do you just have coworkers you pass the time with? Lesson 7. Live as if death could arrive any moment. This is the most astonishing lesson of all. The modern world has turned death into a taboo. It hides it in hospital rooms and cemeteries. Ghazali wants you to keep death in your pocket. The one who remembers death frequently gains 3 things: haste in repentance, contentment of heart, and joy in worship. If this were your last evening, would you still be upset about your current problems? Would you still be angry at that person? Would you still work for months just to buy that meaningless object? Death is not an ending. According to Ghazali, it is a real awakening. It is the moment the exam ends. This lesson isn't meant to make you sad. On the contrary, it's meant to make you live more vividly, more honestly, and with more quality. A person who knows they are going to die never procrastinates. Conclusion. Call to action. Imam Al-Ghazali ends his letter like this. "O son, giving advice is easy. The hard part is accepting it and applying it to your life." You could watch this video, pull the plug, and go right back to your old life. Or you could choose just one of these 7 lessons and take a giant step today toward a personal revolution. Ghazali gave you the map, he delivered the prescription, but you are the one who has to take the medicine. Stop pushing that inner sage into the background. The road is long and time is very short. Which lesson is the missing piece in your life right now? Your intentions, your time, or your friends? Remember, you aren't just a piece of flesh and bone. You're a soul walking toward eternity. It's time to question yourself. My friend, today could be your last day. When you look back, make sure you are occupied with things that truly satisfied your soul. Remember, the sand in the hourglass is falling fast. How about changing something today? If you found this helpful, subscribe to my channel and check out my other content. Which lesson impacted you the most? Let's talk about it in the comments.